Hi class, so I did my project on the brand Uniqlo, and just to give a little background, the store is worldwide. It is a clothing company which was originally founded in Yamaguchi, Japan in 1949 as a textiles manufacturer. Now it's a global brand with over 1,000 stores around the world. This is just a look of the interior design of the store. They have a modern, minimalistic interior. They include a lot of plants to give off that green look. And as you can see there's a lot of grassy plants. And when you first walk into the store, they have the reusable totes and all of the signs claiming that they're sustainable and such. So here are the claims that they made. They reduce the use of plastic product packaging. They promote eco-friendly, reusable bags for customers, and they have a reduction of water use in jeans finishing. This is a little insight about the worker treatment. There have been many claims that they have a toxic work environment, unfair recruitment process, and a lot of bullying going on. In April 2015, 4,000 garment workers arrived at work to find the factory shuttered and their wages unpaid, including vital benefits such as severance pay. Of those workers now, nearly 5 years later, 2,000 of them remain fighting for what they still owed, 5.5 million in severance pay. Um, Overall, they have very poor labor conditions, and they have received a score of 31 to 48% in the 2022 Fashion Transparency Index. According to Good on You, these are the claims that they've made regarding the evidence of the worker treatment. So they said that there's no evidence that Uniqlo implements practices to support diversity and inclusion in its supply chain. There's no evidence that they ensure workers are paid living wages in its supply. And during the height of COVID-19 pandemic, they disclosed adequate policies to protect workers in its supply chain from the virus. It received a score of 41 to 50% in the 2022 Fashion Transparency Index. So, according to Uniqlo's website, which they stated using these words, they switched to environmentally friendly shopping bags made from Forest Stewardship Council certified paper or recycled paper. And since fall 2019, Uniqlo started eliminating the use of plastic in packaging of certain items, such as room shoes. And Uniqlo started verification testing aimed at switching from plastic packaging for heat tech, airism, and other innerwear to more environmentally friendly materials. And the airism and the heat tech, it's the terms that they use for certain clothing where they have like winter and the summer. So it's like airflow going through their items. Here's a map showing the total clothing support that Uniqlo has donated across the countries, 50.5 million items to 80 countries and regions. You can see that they donated items in Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Oceania, North America, and South America. So here is where they come into play with their eco-friendly tote bags. Um, This is their commitment to reduce the single-use plastic. They want to minimize waste and reduction in its environmental footprint. And the brand is working to build a truly sustainable business, as they claim. Um, as of 2019, worldwide, they started selling eco bags with the goal of reducing the use of traditional shopping bags and making effective use of resources such as paper. Uniqlo claims to have a huge reduction in water use in jeans. They use ozone mist washing machines, laser distressing instead of sandpapering, which forces heavy manual labor. They also claim to purify and reuse water waste generated by the jeans making process, as well as reducing water waste volumes overall. They evaluate their fabrics and manufacturing processes to promote a more sustainable way to make jeans. Uniqlo is owned by Fast Retailing, so These are their water policies from fast retailing. They focus on areas with high water supply risk and factories that use a lot of water. They evaluate water at their partner factories, working with them to reduce water consumptions, and they have set a reduction target of 10% per unit of water used at each factory from the 2020 levels by the end of 2025 at our partner factories that account for 80% of total water consumption. Recycled polyester is used in a lot of their polo t-shirts. Polyester made from recycled plastic bottles is one of the materials used to make their Dry X polo shirts. As you can see here, 38% is made with recycled polyester, and then 75% is made with another recycled polyester for those types of t-shirts. So for the future, Uniqlo does have plans in place to end their use of products. They have recycling efforts. So Uniqlo recycles used garments through circular sustainable programs. They collect Uniqlo down garments from all over the world and transform them into new products. They work with NGOs and partners to distribute wearable used clothing to refugees, disaster victims, and others in need worldwide. And Uniqlo believes in the power of clothing to create a better tomorrow. Our clothes recycling is just one of the parts of sustainability efforts to recycle, reuse, and reduce. In order to be more sustainable, Uniqlo needs returns within 30 days of the order date found on the invoice, and the merchandise will only be accepted in its original condition, new, unused, and unwashed, with the tags attached, so that way that they could reuse them and nothing would go to waste. President Tadashi Yanai, he is the CEO and chairman of Uniqlo. He gave a speech and a message regarding the lifewear of their company. So, lifewear is a simple, high quality, long lasting clothing created for regular people's lives and needs. More customers worldwide are starting to appreciate and accept the lifewear concept. Um, so this is their new line where they have everyday styles and an attempt to be more green and sustainable. Uniqlo is in collaboration with a lot of partnerships in order to help everyone around and make their company more sustainable. So I'll give them that. They do have collaborations with the homeless services, the refugees agencies, and they collab with Better Cotton and the homeless centers. So they do donate a lot of their clothes as well. This is a diagram that Uniqlo posted on their website for sustainability. This is their fast retailing value chain. As you can see here, they produce, they go into sales, they have the reducing, the reusing, recycling, and then they go into the product planning and the raw materials, and they start it all again. Uniqlo approaches product design very thoughtfully. As you can see here, this is a chart showing the new arrivals at Uniqlo versus their competitors, and these are their numbers versus H&M and Zara. Uniqlo's emphasis on year-round wardrobe staples means the brand isn't restricted to seasonal fashion trends with limited longevity. Instead, it's capitalizing on the see now, buy now approach consumers have. So they are fast fashion. This is their market player product sales volume market shares. As you can see here, Uniqlo is a larger piece of the pie. So there's that. According to Good On You, they rated Uniqlo a 3 out of 5. So that would be a start. So Uniqlo overall has good policies to monitor its suppliers, but it's not taking adequate steps to ensure payment of living wage for its workers. It uses some lower impact materials, including recycled materials. It offers clothing recycling to consumers to help address end of life textile waste. It takes some actions to reduce water use in its supply chain. It's set a science based target to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in both its direct operations and supply chain, but there's no evidence that it is on track for sure. So, this is not a overall bad rating. It's in the middle, and we could see that they are in an attempt to be better and sustainable, but they're not all the way there. They do have their flaws. I personally would score Uniqlo a 2 out of a 5 because they have more claims than proven evidence, which of mostly is like not transparent. They have strong evidence of water reduction and water waste, strong evidence they have reduced plastic materials. They sell a good amount of recycled materials, including eco-friendly bags. It doesn't appear to have use of fur or exotic animal skin, and it doesn't appear to use fur Angoria or traces of some animal-derived materials to the first production stage. They don't treat their workers the best. There's no evidence it implements practices to support diversity and inclusion in its supply chain, and there's no evidence it ensures workers are paid living wages in its supply chain. It has a policy to source wool from non-Molson sheep, but it doesn't provide evidence to verify its claims. So there's a lot of claims made, and they do back it up, but the evidence that they provide is not fully transparent. This is pretty much a wrap up. So I answered all the questions that the professor asked. Is there evidence that they treat their workers and pay workers fairly? No. Most of the evidence results in unfair treatment. Is there evidence that they're using sustainable practices and materials? Yes, there is. Is there evidence that they're using sustainable production practices? Yes. Do they produce at a sustainable rate? No. Are they transparent about why they're making sustainability claims? Do they provide evidence to support what they claim and admit the need for improvement in ways that they are falling short? No. What are their packaging policies? I mentioned them on slides 7, 9, 10, and 12. What are their water use policies? I also mentioned them on slides 10 and 11. What are they doing to be sustainable with their stores and back office? I mentioned that on slide 12. They are implementing return policies that are strict. Do they have plans in place for the end of their use of their products? It's reduce, reuse, and recycle. They are accepting garments that were worn, and they're remaking them. Are they making broad and general claims that cannot be supported? No, they support it, but it's not specific. Are they advertising claims supported by independent third party evaluators? Yes, they are. They have ads on their website. Are they collaborating with others outside of the company in their sustainability efforts? Yes, in slide 16, I mentioned how they have a lot of partnerships with all of these foundations, and they donate a lot across the world. So overall, that's the end. And overall, Uniqlo is on the way for a more sustainable practice, but they're not all the way there, and they do need to be a little bit more clear.